Niall McGrath here for Off the Ball at Bellator MMA Media Day ahead of this weekend's massive fight card here in Dublin, Ireland. I'm joined by Peter Queally, who faces Myles Price this Saturday. First of all, Peter, this fight card, it's sort of a big feel about it, especially with the TV deal that got over the line a couple of weeks ago. How are you feeling fight week?
Same. I've had many big nights in Russia and South Africa and big media attention. Maybe not so much here, but there were huge fights in Russia, and I've experienced this big fight feel, but just in a different country. So it feels the same to me, but I've got the added comfort of actually being at home for this one, which I'm relishing, and it's just so
much of a difference does that make for you as a fighter?
Crazy. I don't have to get on this 20-hour flight to Russia and staying in hotels and trying to find food and bringing interpreters with me and all this crazy shit that I don't have to deal with now. I'm just living in my own house in Nice. I drive in 30 minutes to the arena. I'll go back to my own house tonight, worry about the weight cut in the morning, do the weigh-in, go back to my own house, sleep in my own bed. It's so different.
In terms of a matchup, and obviously there's been the beef with you and Myles, it goes back, it runs deep. You criticised him a lot for going over to AKA when Conor was fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. How do you feel towards him sitting just a few blocks down now, and you're going to get in the cage with him on Saturday night?
Nothing, that's over now. I'm cold to him now. There was an emotional investment in this fight in the lead up to it. People know, I'm not going to explain it again, but people know what he's after doing. I will explain it again. Ireland's greatest sportsman was getting ready for the biggest moment of his career, and Myles spent his own money to travel 5,000 miles or 4,000 miles, whatever it is, to go and help his opponent. That's a traitor. He's a former teammate of Conor, so people know what he has done. I know what he has done. But to answer your question, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm cold to him now. When I'm in that ring, he's just going to be another fight for me. I'm just going to break him up, and that's it. There will be no emotional investment on the night, I think is what you're getting at.
Speaking to Myles, a few moments ago, and he said that he believes you're more emotionally invested in this fight than he has, and he sees that as a positive for him. How would you respond to that?
I feel I just did respond. I'm not really emotionally invested anymore. I see him there. I saw him when I walked in. It doesn't matter to me. It helped me in the lead up to the fight, I guess. It was very easy to get up in the morning and go train. Knowing what he did, it was like a little added incentive. But I trained so hard anyway, I don't think I can train any harder. But the real question I think you want answered is, am I going to be emotionally invested on the night and do something stupid? No. I'm going to fight like I always do, walk forward, swing bombs, try and break his face. And that's what I'll be doing. My most important thing for this fight is that the fans get a fight. I hope Myles can deliver me a fight, and hope he can stand up to me and deliver a big fight. I think he can. He's a good fighter. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to win. Whatever he brings, I'm going to bring more. That's it. That's it for this fight. That's the story of this fight.
A lot of people think, you're going to go after the ground in this fight, take the fight to the ground, and, Myles wants to keep the fight standing. How do you see that and that element? Is your stand-up maybe underrated a little bit?
I don't think it's underrated. People know I'm a very good stand-up fighter. I'm a better stand-up fighter than Myles. I think he's going to wrestle, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to wrestle. I'm going to knock him out, or I'm going to leave him different at the end of that 15 minutes. I don't plan on wrestling.
I think for me, this fight on Saturday night, obviously with the social media beef and everything that's got on that you've explained there, is possibly the best matchup on the card. Do you feel that way as well, that there's a lot of eyes on yourself and Myles going into this fight?
Yeah, I think it definitely has the most eyes on it. But there's many good fights on this card. There's many attractions for the fans. Like James is the main event, and people love or hate James. I mean, they can say what they want, but they like seeing him. You know what I mean? And he's capitalised well on that. Kiefer, people love Kiefer. People are very excited to see Kiefer. I feel like me, James and Kiefer have done the heavy lifting for this event, and we're the ones that people are coming to see, and we should all get credit for that. To answer your question, I think mine is getting the most attention, but it's because there's the storyline behind it. Fans get most excited about a fight where it's very, very crystal clear why the two people are fighting. And this is very clear why we're fighting. There's no explanation necessary. People know, so they're invested in this fight. It probably is the most anticipated one for that reason.
I've asked every fighter this question today. Obviously, with, as I said, the TV deal. You know, is this a second coming? You know, with Bellator MMA, we obviously saw the UFC invasion and the Irish invasion first time off, but there's a lot more Irish fighters signed here with Bellator. Is this feel like there's something special happening again in Irish mixed martial arts?
Of course, Sky Sports. Who else has done that? No one. 9 p.m. I grew up looking at all my sports heroes on Sky Sports. So even for me to be on Sky Sports at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night live, it's crazy. It's a dream come true for me, and Bellator should be credited for that. They did something, you know, the UFC probably couldn't do and get on Sky Sports. And I think we are going to deliver and make sure Bellator stays on Sky Sports. That's going to be my payback for Bellator, is I am going to deliver whether it's a big knockout or it's a war or what's going to happen. People watching on Sky Sports are going to want to tune in again after this Saturday night.
Peter, pleasure to speak to you. Very much looking forward to your fight against Myles on Saturday night. Cheers.
Thank you so much.